Jehuty here with the X-Play Fans channel. I'm here to give you some tips for Darkest Dungeon. It is a hard game, so I'm just going to give you some general tips on what you should probably keep in mind. Nothing concrete. Play as you want, but these are just some general ideas that are okay to live by. First off, keep your roster fairly full. Mostly because, oh hey, people die, people go insane, and you might have to dismiss someone. So it's always just having a full caravan of people for when something terrible happens, you won't be left out. Make sure that if you find a trait that you really like on someone, to keep it. If you don't and they actually get another good trait, yeah, you'll think, oh, hey, this is good. It can, however, get rid of a very, very good trait. Like this accuracy. I want to keep this. Hitting people is good. So we're going to keep it. Make sure to lock that in. Just general stuff like that. Keep stuff you want. Make sure to get rid of traits you do not want. Really good example of this is Reginald. One of your first guys you get, Reynold. He has kleptomania, so that means that whenever you pass something, there's a chance that he will open it. There are items you do not want to pick up at all because most of the times they will be bad stuff. Get rid of that trait as fast as you can. Same way there. Another thing is at the bottom down in here, you can actually exchange heirlooms for different heirlooms. A lot of people might miss that, not be aware that you can actually go down there and click it. You actually just go all the way to the bottom of the screen. So if you have like too many busts, I want shields or some kind of thing like that. So if you have way too many of one item, trade it on in and get your facilities leveled up. Curios, you'll encounter them a lot of the times in dungeons. Don't always take them because you're just taking up spots for gems, money, and more relics. They're not always worth it, and a lot of times they come with a fairly unbalanced bad perk, or they're for a class you don't have or don't really like at all. Let's see. Another thing is, for your party, I always suggest having a dedicated healer or someone who is very good at healing other people. Where is she? The flagellant will often come with an ability called Redeem, where if he's below a certain amount of health, he will actually heal himself and one other person, and it does a pretty sizable heal. And if it crits, it can actually fully heal both people. So that is a great ability to have on him. And as for your real, just dedicated backline healer, having a Vestal is pretty great, and keeping her healing ability high up is pretty good as well, because again, critting healing not only recovers stress, but also, hey, it recovers health. As for party composition, you usually want someone who can tank at the front, and the two middle spots interchangeable with maybe people who can mess up the formation of the other team or do debuffs, or as in the Jester's case, has the ability to remove stress or bolster your party. So essentially the back line is healing, front is essentially damage, and the middle two slots are supportive roles. I personally like having a flagellant at the front, a man-at-arms as a second slot, my Jester as a third slot, and a occultist as the last spot, because he can actually heal my flagellant who already has high bleed resistance. Speaking of bleed and blights can stack. Do not underestimate how much damage you can do with those debuffs. Getting them both on one enemy will just destroy them. So I don't want to really keep you too long, so I'm just going to throw a random person in here. Another big part of this is outfitting your team for when you go. Normal expeditions, I would normally suggest about 8 rations, and you may want to kind of bump that up to medium to about 12 to 16 for a medium length. I always take 2 shovels no matter what, because when you get to a place that might be blocked, you can be damaged from clearing it by hand. I never take keys. I have not personally ever really wanted to use them. They do have a chance to open up a secret compartment, but so far that I played, I haven't found anything that seems really worth it. Torches, of course, are essential. I usually like to take 8 torches for a short one because there's a chance you will find more of them. But in medium ones, about 12 to 15 seems adequate. And I never really use any of these anti-poisons, anti-blight kind of things, because the flagellant I have, or not the flagellant, the plague doctor has an ability to remove blight and all that kind of fun stuff. As for when you're in the dungeon, keeping your torch lit, of course, gives you a chance to surprise enemies and reduces the amount of stress that builds up over time. It, however, does lower the amount of gold you encounter, because, of course, if it's dark, you can see the gold glittering in the dark. But if you keep it too low, stress builds up quickly. Monsters have a higher chance of attacking, getting a surprise on you. And in the actual very first area where you get off the stagecoach, if you extinguish your torch, you actually encounter a entirely crazy strong monster from the beginning. But those are a few tips just to get you kind of started in Darkest Dungeons. I am Jehuty. This is the XBLA Fans channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Check out our other videos and have a nice day. Thank you again. Happy dying.